The world of distance measuring devices has so many options these days, it can be quite a challenge to find the one that best fits your preferences. We've got a potential candidate here in the form of the SkyCaddie Pro 4X handheld. We'll take a close-up look straight ahead. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here, and welcome in as we take an up-close look at the SkyCaddie Pro 4X GPS. This handheld distance measuring device is really pretty cool. The animation on it, the detail that it provides is probably even greater than we will get into here on the review. But let me walk you through what has already happened, because we wanted to charge up the device so that when we did this video, it had some life left in it. That's happened. And then when we fired it up for the first time, we all got to enjoy a pretty catchy animation, and it very quickly went into search mode for the course where I am standing, which is the Fortress in Frankenmuth, Michigan. And once you hit play golf, it's ready to go. So I went in and I picked the hole where we are standing because this looks like one where having some detailed information can come in quite handy. This is a kind of a blind dogleg left with a river on the left side, so you definitely want to make sure that you have the right club in your hand, or at least the correct aiming point. So I want to do this. 15, 16, and 17 here at the Fortress are all holes where golfers would benefit from having precise information. So we aren't going to take a lot of time to do this, but let's walk through what it's like to play these holes with this device. Okay, so the Pro 4X, as I pull up number 15, shows me that I can hit a ball 260 if I can really get a hold of it, and it even gives me the angle at that distance. Then if I touch the screen, I can adjust the aiming point if I want to hit something less than driver, which is probably the smart play. If I wanted to go with an iron, I can literally set my distances so that if I wanted to hit something in the range of 180, that's what it looks like to that point. So we're going to hit a shot using this guidance, which for me on this tee box is sort of to the left tree up on the right side of the fairway. Let's see how we do. Okay, tee shot lands on the fairway. That's a good sign, and we have 81 yards left to the hole as the green view pops up into place on the Pro 4X. And it's interesting because you actually have the ability to edit the pin and move it to where it's actually located on the green as opposed to the default being dead center. So this tells me I have 80 yards away to the actual pin, which I double checked against my Bushnell laser rangefinder, and that said 81 yards, so I'm good with that. But it's a pretty interesting replica of the contours of the green, and one of the things I'm reminded of is that SkyCaddie, somehow mapping tens of thousands of courses, does it the old-fashioned way with humans walking and taking measurements. That's why you'll see the greens represented very accurately in the devices. So second shot in, 80 yards, here we go. The good news is the drive found the fairway, the second shot found the green. The bad news is it wasn't very close to the hole, but at least we have a outside chance at a birdie putt. That outside chance is growing more remote by the second as I run that 48 feet by. I'd love to blame that on the technology, but that's really user error. Meanwhile, here on the Pro 4X, what it does is as soon as I set foot on the green, it switches over to the green view and also is helping keep score as we go. It's keeping distances for each club, and it's providing a lot more reporting than you might think possible in a device this size. Let's leave number 15. Let's head up to number 16, which is a hole I know we need some help with when it comes to gauging distances. We move over to the 16th tee, and this is one of those holes where having some guidance, especially if you've never played here before, is super important. So the Pro 4X shows us a really good picture of the hole because from the tee box, it just looks like a narrow par 4. What you don't see from here is that the fairway actually runs out, and driver is probably not the right club to hit here, and not knowing that could be very, very costly to your scorecard. So we've got some choices to make, right? The hole is only 335, but the cutoff, there's a cart path that crosses through, is at 235, And then there's a little more room after that where you could find a tiny landing pad at about 260. So that's the risk that you would take if you decided to hit driver. And it's one of the reasons that having a device that shows you a picture of the entire hole is super helpful. Now let's see if we can find the fairway. Okay, my 5-wood brings me to 125 in, so it's a pretty breezy day. We're going to hit a 9-iron, but again, we have a really good depiction of a green that is super narrow, and the pin is left side, kind of front third of the green, so 124 is what we get here on the SkyCaddie. Not too bad. All right, I had the right distance for that second shot, so now we have a realistic look at birdie. Come on, be nice to me. Hey, that was first take in case anybody's keeping track at home. I can get a notarized statement to that effect if we need to. We made an actual birdie, as far as you know. Okay, we're up on the 17th hole, this beautiful par 3 at the Fortress Golf Course, and having the right number is essential, especially since it's really windy and the hole is downwind. And take a look at that hole location. As you see it on the SkyCaddie screen, it is as far back as can possibly be. So if you come up short, you're in the water in the pond. If you go long, you're in the Cass River behind, and you've got, I would say, 15 to 20 mile an hour wind coming in from behind. Never a dull moment. So I'm going to go with an 8-iron. SkyCaddie tells me it's 163. Now SkyCaddie's not adjusting for elevation, but we're going to play it at about 155 and see what happens here. That's got potential to be good. Oh, it just carried the water right under the hole about 20 feet. We'll take that, and it's another important reminder of why having the right distances is so important. There was no need for us to continue putting on 17. There was a little user error involved. Let's just go ahead and assume that I made the par putt coming back. At any rate, my thoughts on the SkyCaddie Pro 4X. 3 things I really like and 1 thing I really don't. The 3 things I really like: it's very accurate. The depictions of the holes, the yardages, and the speed with which it retrieves that information, it's really cool. The display is very vibrant. Big fan of that, especially since you're going to be using this out in the sun most all of the time. And the third thing I really like is the compact nature of the device. It's not so big that you can't fit it in a back pocket. What don't I like? I need it to attach somewhere. Now maybe I have to go and buy some sort of a clamp that will attach to the cart, but I kind of thought it might have a magnet built into the back side of it so I could just stick it to the support beams of the golf cart. But I don't want to be fiddling with a device every time I have a shot, every time I need to get a distance. I'm already in a rhythm of using my laser rangefinders for that purpose. I thought that with the Pro 4X being so small and so handy, that it would also have a way to attach it to something. Now maybe that doesn't bother you. It was a little bit of an inconvenience for me. I don't want to have to get the numbers, take a look, either put it in the pocket where I already have perhaps a glove or scorecard or something else. I thought there might be a way to attach it to the cart so it's an easy grab and go. Having said all that, the technology in here is really quite impressive. And I know for some of you who are very familiar with the Pro 4X, you're saying, yeah, but you didn't cover X, Y, and Z. I understand that. There's a lot more in here, including the downloading of your data, the distances per golf club that you have fed into it, and now it's going to help guide you in the future for what clubs to hit from which distance, and a whole lot more. We didn't get into all that. This was just kind of a basics, and if something about this SkyCaddie Pro 4X appeals to you, make sure you check out the description below for a promo code that will save you a few dollars if you decide to pick up the SkyCaddie Pro 4X or anything from SkyCaddie. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can be alerted every time we have a new review video coming up. And please check out the all-new mgltv.com. That's our website where all of our reviews are posted. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time, either with the Pro 4X in your hands or some other distance measuring device.